Oh yeah, once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and get hooked up now. "10 days, 3,000 miles, 1,100 riders, 5 wars."
I think we need to step up as Americans and show them that we care.
83,000
Run for the
KIA
Wall
or
begins
MIA?
in Southern California with over 1,000 riders. The Southern and Midway routes cover roughly 3,000 miles, crossing through 9 states, while the Central route crosses a total of 11 states.
Three routes, one mission. Riding for those who can't. Run for the wall.
Been one of the most enlightening things I've ever done. I cried halfway across the nation.
Some of these guys have held back their feelings for over 40 years. Finally, they're able to expose some of their guilt and get it out of their bodies and minds. It's a tremendous healing experience for a lot of these guys. Communities are way involved with this effort. Every overpass, there's waivers, supporters lining the streets. Witness the homecoming veterans receive as they ride across America to the Vietnam Memorial.
American veterans deserve our respect and our gratitude. We need to show them how much we love, care, and appreciate them.
I missed Vietnam by 1 month, and I know a lot of guys want to go back to the wall. They need to go back to the wall for healing, and I want to help them. I want to be with them and take them back to the wall, and that's really why I ride this ride.
Hey Bikeaholics, 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of 03D products. Shall we do this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%ers.
Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. That's right. By being here, by listening to this very podcast, you are part of what we call
the Biker Revolution.
That is right, everybody. Although, I do have just one question before we get started. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up. Let us take you on another wild-ass ride. There we go. That's right. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
There you go. And you may have got a little prelude into what this episode is about. We've got a great main topic for you, which is run for the wall. I've got goat. Give me a goat. There you go. He always gives me a goat. In the studio, because he did run for the wall here in 2019, and I really want to learn what that was like, of course, a lot of you already know somewhat what that event is about, but there's a lot more to it because he actually experienced it. So I'm excited to get back into that. And then you may notice all you patron members, if you're watching in video format, because you'll get this episode if you're a patron member in the back end of your patron account, a video broadcast months before everybody else sitting here. It's not live, but it will go early to the patron members. We've got Tim, who's taking a mic, who is Goat's brother. Can we call him Baby Goat?
He's a preacher.
That'll work.
Tim the preacher.
Yep.
Tim the preacher. So Tim's going to be here now. We usually introduce people a lot more. We're going to do another episode with Tim. He's got a lot of apparently Siri, my Apple HomePod, decided that I said, hey, so stand by. Hey, Siri, stop music. That's awesome, because something I said, she thought I said, hey, Siri, play music. I don't even know how she got that out of that was my Apple HomePod. But nonetheless, we'll do another episode with Tim, and he has a lot of motorcycle experience and some a really story that I would like to discuss with him. So thanks for being here.
Thanks
Tim.
for having me. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to talking about myself a little bit later on.
Absolutely, buddy. Look forward to that too. So good. Thanks for being here, Goat.
Yes.
Yes, just yes. All right. So we want to always announce a new free video because we're cranking them out on the YouTube channel. In fact, we'll talk about it a little bit later because it integrates into this episode about rear shocks, aftermarket rear shocks. We filmed a video today. Goat came up, Tim came up, and he's testing some new rear shocks, which is a direct result of him riding an ass load, not only Run for the Wall, but then we did a 7-day sworn few here, a law-abiding biker trip. Grand Canyon was the ultimate destination, but nonetheless, that's why he's testing some new shocks. So look forward to that on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed over there if you're not already. We really appreciate the subscriber and gives some social proof, and that channel's growing like crazy. So if you haven't, just please get over there, subscribe. You'll get notifications when we come out with new free videos because we're cranking them out, like I say. So this new video that I want to announce, we just dropped at the time of this episode about a week ago, and it is
Like 4 days ago.
okay, well, it was 4 days. You're right. It was this week. It was right before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording. So it's all about our motorcycle cell phone holder for Harley and Metric. It is our biker gripper. Without saying a whole bunch, it was one of our staple products that started our online store. It was the very first product. We still sell the hell out of them. We have made some changes through the manufacturing process over the past 6 years. So we felt it necessary to do an updated video on that and show you everything you need to know about the biker gripper and what it entails and what the models are and the chrome and the black and basically what will work for your situation. That video is embedded in our online store under those products. Of course, it is on our YouTube channel. That is the go-to video now, again, because it's all updated. I will put a link to that video in the show notes because it's awfully long. The show notes can always be viewed at lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is. Goat, apparently you guys have been selling the bejesus out of biker gripper since I dropped that video.
Oh, yeah. We've had a couple of hundred at least in the last 4 days.
Nice. People getting hooked up with that. There's a reason it's still our number one selling product because it is an amazing product compared to the other junk out there that you'll find on Amazon with all kinds of crazy straps and bungee cords and X grippers and just clunky. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm not just saying that. I'm surprised nobody has tried to compete with biker gripper because nobody competes with it.
I've done, well, in just those last 2 rides, I've done over 10,000 miles in a month and a half with a biker gripper and had absolutely zero issues.
Nice, man. And that's just the last couple months.
Yep.
Right. And we've been running them for years. Running on my police motorcycle through the police motors courses, high speed courses, low speed courses. There is another holder somebody mentioned, and I don't off the top of my head know, and I'm not trashing it. It's somewhat of a competitor. You guys might know about it, but honestly, I can't think of the name. But the thing I don't like about it A lot of the even holders like that is their proprietary cases.
Could it be a ram thing?
No, it's not a
us
ram.
Goats absolutely hate rams. So.
Nice, dude. Nicely done, dude. There's one. But I can't, for the life of me. But anyways, that's what I didn't like about a lot of the holders is they have a proprietary case, and you can only use their case, and that's what locks it into the actual mount.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because I don't want to use their case. I want to use whatever damn case I want. And that's what the biker gripper allows you to do.
The great thing with the biker gripper is it can be horizontal, it can be vertical. So if you want to use a GPS, if you want that wide screen for your navigation, it's right there. All you got to do is give it a little spin.
Yep.
Indeed, it's extremely easy to manipulate, to put it in the position that you want and lock it in with the little adjuster that's on there.
Right.
I love it. I've got one as well that Brian gave me as a gift, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And well said. And like I say, that's why we just have no problem selling those things. It's just when I put out a video, it definitely spikes sales because it reinvigorates. And again, it is the most current information. Now, we love our sponsor. Yeah, Brian, you have something? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought Brian had something. So we love our sponsors, regular sponsors, of course, Rick Rack, Zero 3D, and all that kind of stuff. But these people also are a direct result of why you're hearing continued ongoing podcast. There are patron members. We want to thank the following.
Stuart Hartvixen of Lawton, Oklahoma, Rick Baina of Sun City, Arizona, and Bill Schreiber of Milan, Tennessee, a top-tier patron.
David Crowell of Louisville, Kentucky, top-tier. Jacob Kiltherms of Union, Missouri, and Larry Artisan of Cibolo, Texas, I suppose. And wrapping it up with the last three here.
Jeff Smith of Galloway, Ohio, a top-tier patron. Daryl Herod Jenks of Oklahoma, or Daryl Herod of Jenks, Oklahoma.
Yeah, you got it.
A top-tier patron. And Christopher McAteer of Wimberley, Texas.
That's right, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon to get involved. You can pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap on it. Don't want you to go over that family budget. There are benefits, t-shirt, stickers. Get into that private Facebook group. It's blowing up. It's a forum. It's a troll-free zone, and we love it in there. And also access to our premium videos up on request, and mid-level and above get access right here to our live broadcasts. And like this, they get our podcast episodes months before everybody else. So always trying to give those patron members the extra benefits that they deserve for supporting this platform and keeping it going as long as it has, over 6 years now. So with that said, let's dive right in. So like I said at the beginning of the episode, Brian's here. Tim will jump in whenever he feels necessary. That's great. We're just bikers talking biker stuff. So let's give a little history, I suppose. Let me do this. Let me give a little history, because some people don't know about it necessarily. So let me give this history statement, and then Brian, we'll jump into your specific experience with doing it here in 2019. So bear with me. Run for the Wall was started in 1989 by James Gregory and Bill Evans, two Vietnam veterans who traveled across heartland of America on motorcycles. They talked to local radio, TV, and newspapers about the thousands of men and women still unaccounted for from all wars. The need for this awareness continues today, and we carry on this tradition every May. We don't give political speeches or stage demonstrations. Run for the Wall gets its message to the public by riding across the U.S. coast to coast. We obey traffic laws and treat all citizens with dignity and respect. Right in line with law-abiding biker. I love it. The issue of public awareness is only part of the reason Run for the Wall exists. We also give Vietnam vets and all veterans the opportunity to receive their own, quote, welcome home and start their healing process. Anyone who has fought or has friends or loved ones who have fought in a war has their own issues from their own experience. The welcome home the goodbye to buddies lost, the ability to finally help the young men and women we watch every night on TV, or just trying to accept coming home alive. Many who participate in the run find that whatever they've been missing can be found in the Run to the Wall family. They can finally start selling issues and that have been stuffed away for many years. There's a nominal charge for participating in the run. Plus, you pay your own expenses such as lodging. We are fortunate to receive support from organizations and people along the way. Most breakfasts, lunches, and evening dinners are provided free or for a small donation by concerned citizens. There are many generous groups and individuals who also pay for our gas too. The trip is a 10-day ride from Ontario, California to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., where the run officially ends. We meet on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial just before noon on Saturday, before Memorial Day. From there, we walk as a group to the wall and declare our mission complete by placing a plaque at the apex. There are other non-Run for the Wall events scheduled throughout the weekend, including the opportunity to participate in the Rolling Thunder Parade in Washington, D.C. on Sunday. This is a sight to behold. 350,000 plus motorcycles, all starting from the Pentagon parking lots, parading through downtown Washington and ending at the wall. During the journey across the U.S., we make stops at memorials, veterans hospitals, and schools. We enjoy parades, escorts, welcome home receptions provided by the Patriots in our host cities. Participants range in age from 8 to 80. They include fathers, mothers, grandfathers, and grandmothers, some of who ride their own bikes. Veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, and Afghanistan, active duty military, supporters, friends, and family. Everyone is welcome, veterans and non-veterans alike. The main rule is no attitudes. Some people join Run for the Wall and think it is just a vacation or another motorcycle event. After a day or two, you realize this is something special and unlike anything you've experienced. You become part of the Run for the Wall family, whose members come from all over the U.S., Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the Netherlands, and other countries. What could be more perfect than riding on a mission, making new friends, and helping a very good cause, which is POW and MIA. You don't have to ride a motorcycle to participate. By joining or supporting Run for the Wall, you can share in our mission. The important thing is just to join the cause. How about that, Brian?
Oh, it's wonderful. And the big thing I would suggest that everyone remember is it's not a ride. It is a mission.
Experience and a mission.
It's ran like a military mission, and it's not, you're not there to go have fun, even though you'll have experiences that will touch you forever. But it is a mission. You're there to do a job, to go through, get to the end, present the plaque, do your respects, pay your respects. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, we've completed our mission.
Nice.
And to illustrate that, one of the first things you do when you go to Ontario and sign up, everybody meets together. And then the separate routes go off on their separate routes to get to the end point.
Because there's 3 routes.
Yeah, there's 3. Right. There's actually 4 now.
4, okay.
They had a what they called a recon for the 4th route, which is what they call the sandbox route now. And that is for the current conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. And they are building another memorial wall. And at the moment, I can't remember if it's Illinois or Indiana that it is in. But the sandbox route left Ontario with us, rode all the way through, and I think they bounced through the different routes. But when they got to Washington, D.C., after they completed the mission there, they turned around and rode back to the site of the new memorial, and that's where they completed their sandbox route. So
Nice. So 4 routes.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 official, the 4th is coming.
Okay.
So this was for 2019, it was the 31st year of the Run for the Wall, and they initiated the sandbox route.
Okay. Now I want to mention that we've also said it in a previous podcast. It's unfortunate, so we don't want to get Run for the Wall and Rolling Thunder mixed up, although they happen at the same time. Unfortunately, Run for the Wall was the last year, Rolling Thunder was the final year here in 2019, so they're not doing it anymore.
But that is also in question. There's been
really, because I haven't seen any other. We read the multiple articles.
Right.
Even their site says it's Run for the Wall site said it's done.
right,
But that maybe some donors will come and
and I know
that.
the President of the United States said that it will continue.
Nice. And
So-
that's the
Exactly.
short, that's over in DC. It's the 350,000 bike. So don't mix those two up, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, they're completely separate entities. The Run for
Yes.
the Wall is its own entity, and it is going to continue. In fact, they already have over 1,600 people signed up for Run for the Wall 2020.
Nice. What are the dates on
It's
2020, bro?
2020 is May 13th.
I can pull it up here too if you want.
I may find it right
May
here.
13th through the 23rd,
Yep.
2020. And you can get signed up on their website. So tell me this, since we're talking about signing up. What, you've never done this before, Goat. What spurred you to do this? Why did you want to get involved with this organization? They're a nonprofit, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had been something that I had thought of, but it is, like as you can see from the website, it's a huge commitment. It's a 10-day ride. So for a lot of people, getting 10 days away from work, it's not just the 10 days of the ride, it's your time before and your time getting back home.
Because you got to start in Ontario, California, right?
Exactly.
So you got to get there.
There are people that start from the East Coast, ride all the way out to the West Coast, do the 10-day ride back across, and then
Crazy,
go home.
huh? It's awesome.
For me,
That's commitment.
Yeah, for me and a friend of mine, we're both former Marines. We both retired from the sheriff's office, and we both wanted to do this for quite a while. And this was the first year that we were really able to do it. We were gone for 22 days. We were on the road for 22 days, the two of us. 7,100 miles was my round trip.
Nice.
So from Washington down to California all the way across to Washington, D.C., and then from D.C. back. And we spent, I think, 3 days in the D.C. area just, recuperating from the 13 days before that, before we headed back across. So
Little gentleman's jack help you recover from that?
a little. And like I said, it was a mission on the way across.
Right.
And it was, our ride on the way back. So
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say, I'd like to interject something there.
Please
as well.
do.
I love the fact that you said that it's a mission, and not just for the veterans and the prisoners of war and missing in action guys, but also for people like me that are non-veterans
that want to pay their respects.
Yeah.
Indeed. And the young people
Exactly.
along the way, I'm watching this video and I'm watching all these people standing out there with flags on overpasses with their little kids. And unfortunately, in our society today, there's so many young people that just don't understand what these people sacrificed. And for people like us, me coming from a military family and having my brother who's my best friend, as a Marine, knowing how important this is and how important it is to those veterans that are riding across the nation for the communities to come out and show them the love. It breaks
Well
me up.
said, brother.
I start
Oh,
getting
I know.
teary-eyed just watching.
Tell me about it.
I
Because
tell you,
we heavily support military here at Law-Abiding Biker Media.
I teared up and cried several times going through.
It's got to be an emotional experience.
Well, one of the things,
especially you being a veteran,
yeah, one of the first things you do when you get down and you register for the ride, you go through orientation training, and it's just like the military. It was my first time on the ride, so I was given an FNG pin.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what F and
How
G
cool
stands
is
for,
that?
I'm sure. So,
Right. That stands for the funky new guy.
but it's another F.
The fun new guy.
The effing new guy.
The fun new guy, right?
So everybody gets an FNG pin, and you're required to wear it.
So it brings back
Somewhere.
a little of that brotherhood and that
Exactly.
hazing.
But
fun.
everybody that sees that pin will come up and give you a hug and say, "Welcome home."
Oh, man.
It's amazing.
And
Don't
so-
that get you, bro?
Oh, it's getting me right now.
Me too.
So-
Yeah.
But
That's amazing,
you
man.
go through that the entire trip. At the end, when you're done with your mission, you can have somebody choose to flip your pin. They'll flip it upside
Back
down.
up. Okay.
So it's almost like the motor wings when you have an accident.
When you
Whoop,
dump your
yours
bike, you get it
flipped.
upside down,
So-
right?
But it's in a good way. So you
Right.
start out with it upright, and then when you get done with your mission, you can select somebody to flip it for you.
Wow. How
Now-
cool is that?
One of the coolest things about the entire ride, and I've got to get this out because it's just boiling up inside me, is one of the people I got to ride with. So being a Marine, I was on the fuel team for the Midway route where I got to ride with, a good buddy that I served 22 years in the sheriff's office with, another former Marine. But we also got to accompany the 12th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps the entire trip.
How did you get selected to do that? Or did it just
Because-
end up that way?
Because my buddy knows him.
Because your
So-
buddy knows him. Okay.
But we got
Wow.
to accompany Sergeant Major Gene Overstreet. And this guy was the top enlisted man in the entire Marine Corps from 1991 to 1995.
Wow.
So his counterpart was the commandant, the 4-star general in charge of the Marine Corps.
Wow, man. Did you know that going in?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that was
you
part
did.
of the reason I really wanted to go.
Yeah,
So-
no shit.
And I mean, the guy is the coolest gentleman you'll ever meet.
Pretty
in your
straight
life.
up humble, huh?
Oh yeah, and he is just the funniest guy in the world too. He can sit there and if you need tuned up, he'll tune you up like you wouldn't believe. He was a drill instructor, and but
Knows
he
his
can,
way around
No
that.
shit.
but he can tune you up with just a look too.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's a great guy. He rides a BMW from Houston, Texas. Actually, now he's from San Antonio. So
Okay.
great guy. And he just made the whole experience even more the better. So
He sounds like one of those guys that you meet that makes you want to be a better man.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
by
yeah.
being around him.
Yeah,
You want to kind of
inspirational.
rise to that level. Exactly.
well, all you got to do is look on my Facebook page, and you'll see my my picture is me and him shaking hands. So
Nice.
that's my profile picture. So
Nice.
he is the man. So
That's sweet. So tell me this, so we can get a little bit of a backstory here. So we get why you signed up. It's easy to sign up on the website, right?
yeah.
Yep. Just anybody
the
can
fee
sign
is
up,
like $30,
and
so it's a
nothing.
nominal fee.
And then you're set.
Yep.
But you got to get to Ontario, California. So did you rode straight from here to Ontario, California to do this, right?
Yeah, me and a buddy from local, we rode down.
How many days did it take you?
We took it
From
easy.
Washington
we took a half
State.
day the first day and rode down to Klamath Falls, and then our second day was from Klamath Falls to Bakersfield. Spent the night in Bakersfield, and then we rode from Bakersfield to Ontario, which was another half day. So it was 2 days down there.
Very good.
If we planned it all over again, we would have taken off earlier and gotten there a day early.
Oh, really?
that
Why?
We could just so we could spend a full day at orientation and everything else and seeing all the stuff there, so that we weren't rushed that day.
How much time did you have to spend in orientation since you got down there?
We were there at noon, and orientation and everything ended at like probably 1800, 6 o'clock at night.
Wow.
But
So pretty short for you.
yeah, we were there like 6 hours for the orientation stuff. But the cool thing during the orientation was we were there and got to witness the presenting of a motorcycle, a custom-built bike
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
a combat wounded vet.
Okay. They give one of those away?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the guy knew it was coming because he had been brought in to get measurements and stuff. And he had lost both legs and also lost a lot of the function in an arm.
Damn.
And so they did a presentation of the bike for him there. And I'm going to jump way ahead, but just to illustrate what a small world this is, we rode the Midway route all the way across. And then when we were making our return trip back home, Joe and I rode a lot of the central route. We came back through St. Louis, Kansas City, and went out into this little town in the middle of nowhere in Kansas called Quinter, Kansas. And we just picked it because it was a mileage stop with a hotel. So for our end of the day stop, when we were in Quinter, Kansas, we checked into the hotel, dumped our stuff in the room, hopped on the bikes, and rode into town to a brewery that was suggested by the people in town where we could go grab something to eat and have a beer. As we left the brewery, we walked outside, started to climb on our bikes, and there was a car parked next to us, and a couple of ladies walked out of the brewery as well, and were talking with us. And it turns out the guy that had the bike presented to him was her granddaughter's husband.
Wow.
Just out of the blue.
What are the odds of that?
And she saw I was wearing a shirt that said "Run for the Wall," and she goes, "Oh, did you guys participate in that?" And we're going, yeah. And she's like, "Oh yeah, my granddaughter's husband, he was out there and he got a bike." And we're like, "He got a bike?
You got to be kidding me!" Bells started going off.
Oh yeah. And
ding,
so
ding,
we're
ding,
talking
ding.
to her, and she's going, "Yeah, they brought him out like a year before and took all kinds of measurements. He was wounded." And we're like, "Holy crap, lady, we were there. We saw that. We witnessed that." And she's like, "Really?" So I pulled up the video
nice
on my phone and showed her. She goes, "Yeah, that's him."
Wow.
And it's like, wow, what a small world.
No doubt. In the middle of nowhere in Kansas, right?
The population in Quinter is probably...
Never heard of Quinter till now.
It's probably 2,500 people, maybe.
Right. But they got a
Seriously,
brewery, yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
but it's... And we talked to some of the people there working at the brewery going, "Well, what's the main
industry
around here?" And they're like farming.
Yeah.
And they said there was something that another manufacturing plant that had been there, but it had caught on fire the year before, so it was closed.
Wow.
So, and it's like, wow.
That's awesome. Yep. Almost like meant to be.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And again, back a point that I was thinking of earlier, and I know it's way out of order here.
We don't care. This is biker talk. Yeah.
The whole thing about its mission is when we got down to Ontario and we went through the orientation and stuff, they give everyone that's riding a sheet that has a printed information on a POW MIA.
Random?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, this is for you.
Okay.
You need to read up and study on this person, and it's your mission to carry this from
no shit,
Ontario
man.
All the way to the wall.
That's badass.
And to find them on the wall and place it at the wall. Because they're not
awesome.
They're
See, I
not
love learning
forgotten.
about shit like this. You hear about this, but you don't get,
You've been entrusted and given the honor
Damn, man.
to carry this person with you. Basically,
that's deep.
Rear pegs
all the way
down,
across the country.
That's
rear pegs
deep,
down,
man.
is it something like that?
No, it wasn't the rear pegs down, but it was, to transport safely across the country, place
and
it
put
at
it
the
in its
wall
rightful place. Damn, man, that's
by
deep.
their name. And
that shit gives me chills, man. Stuff like that,
Indeed, and you're getting to know this person.
Yeah,
I would
man.
be thinking. I'm sure my brother as well did. I'd be thinking about this person all the way.
You'd want to know more about him.
Indeed.
Yeah. What are you showing there on your phone?
I took photos of his name on the wall. I went to the registry and found his name on the wall and went there and placed his picture and the information sheet they gave us that was laminated and took photos of it. But it was Captain Wayne Charles Ersch from the United States Air Force. He was a pilot with the 497th Tactical Fighter Squadron, and he went missing January 9th, 1968. And, that was my mission, was to transport his information sheet from Ontario to the wall in Washington, D.C.
Love it, man.
And, it's one of those things. It's very personal. It's very, it's extremely meaningful. And another mission that I had during the entire time, and it was a mission that I had taken on beforehand, my prior undersheriff at the department that I worked for before I retired, his brother was KIA from Vietnam. And when he retired from the sheriff's office, he always had a rubbing of his brother's name on the wall, and it had gotten damaged. So we saw him maybe 2-3 weeks before we were going on the run for the wall. And he said, "Hey, would you get a rubbing of my brother?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll do that for you. No problem." And so I found his brother on the wall and did a rubbing, put it in a protective deal, and transported it from the wall all the way back home. When Joe and I got home, we stopped at the Rock in Kennewick, and had a beer. And it was, hey, we completed our mission. We're back home safe. Let's, toast a beer and stuff. From there, I rode directly to Paul's house and presented him with the rubbing of his brother.
Nice,
and
man.
He's like, "Hey, thank you so much for bringing this to me."
That's very cool.
Awesome. So it's like I got to accomplish 2 missions during that. And, it can really pull at your heartstrings and show you the importance of this. And, I worked with Paul for years and years and years, and just seeing the look on his face when I was able to present that to him.
Yeah, man.
It was good.
Something to remember forever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing how many people that can look at that as something insignificant, and not understanding the meaning of that without that heartfelt connection. But just, again, a non-veteran, but someone that has strong ties to people in my life that I truly love with all my heart. Those kind of things are the things that you remember in life.
Yep.
You don't necessarily, that Corvette you stacked up when you were young, that's a memory, but you get over that real quick. But things like this are things that, it's what we're designed for. It's what we're created for. It's relationship.
Yeah.
I agree. Well said, Tim.
Another really great part of the whole experience of the Run for the Wall was seeing so many people, like you said, on overpasses. And, we would go to schools and the kids are in there singing, God Bless America and saying the Pledge of Allegiance and waving flags and cheering like crazy as we're coming in. And, going through towns where, there were towns, especially this one town in particular, Cookeville, Tennessee. It's like everybody in the town is a patriot. And I remember riding through there and going by a little beauty parlor, and the hairdresser comes out. Before she can make it out the door, a little old lady that had the whole shawl around her for getting her hair done, her hair's in curlers and everything. They're out standing on the porch waving at us.
It's awesome.
As we ride by on our bikes. And we were the fuel team. We were out ahead of the big main platoons. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I want to dive in a little bit deeper, and not to throw our game off here, but we support our military here heavily at Law Abiding Biker Media. Nothing but the utmost respect for those who are serving and have served. And I know Zero 3D, of course, a sponsor of this episode, also heavily support our military. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing, more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them. Email them, sales@zero3d.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership. Ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Gold Wings. That's right. Help support us. That's the best way. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. And Goat would be happy because Goat helps run the Law Abiding Biker store, and we'd love to package those Zero 3D parts up, and he would put a little veteran love in it for you.
Oh, yeah.
There. Mm-hmm. We love the Zero 3D
A special
stuff.
sticker.
A special sticker.
Just for you.
Yeah, buddy. All right, so I digress a little bit. Let me and go in the direction you want, Goat, because really this is your experience. But I want to bring it back a little bit because I have some questions because I've never done it, and I know a lot of the audience may have some questions about the way this goes. So we're to the point where we're at Ontario, California. We've gone through orientation, which probably is what it is, and it's orientation and tells you a lot about what rules and what you're going to experience and the do's and the don'ts and all that kind of stuff, I assume.
They assign you to platoons.
Okay, so tell me about this. Tell me about this because I'm curious about what I want you to go down the road is what I'm interested in is like, so we're in this big ass group of people and so many riders, like, obviously not all the riders ride at once, and you're talking about police. I want to know about the group riding experience and safety and how do you even work out hotels and like restaurants are overwhelmed and gas stations. So just, you see where I'm going, spin this. Yeah.
So during orientation and beforehand, you fill out questionnaires that give them a lot of information. And once you get there,
before you get there, you fill out
before you get there. Yeah. So you definitely want to pre-register if at all possible. Pick your route on where you want to go. On the website, they have videos and messages from the route commanders.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. They
Is that after you register or is that just public?
It's even beforehand. It's on the... so look at Run Info, look at your new participant. You'll see Sound Midway, Southern Sandbox Route Hub.
Sorry.
So...
I made that.
They've got a ton of information in there. You can look and you'll get.
Oh yeah. I see Midway Route Hub. These are the hubs for the whatever route you're riding. They even have Sandbox Hub on there now.
Yeah.
Route Hub. Okay. Good.
So you can get testimonials from people who have done things. So it'll give you their experience to let you know what's coming up, and it's a wealth of information.
Okay.
And again, you don't have to be a vet to do this. It's open for anybody. The whole catchphrase behind the Run for the Wall is, we ride for those who can't. Mm-hmm. For the POW MIAs, the veterans that can't ride. So we're out there riding for those that can't. So again, once you get to Ontario, you get assigned to a platoon on your route. My experience was a little different because I was assigned to the fuel team right away with the sergeant major because I had experience riding. Joe, the guy that was with me, had experience with a sergeant major. So the sergeant major, he was our fuel team leader. He said, yeah, you guys are with me. So in a regular platoon, they will have them divided up by people who have experience or not. If you have experience
riding,
right?
Okay,
if you have
cross country,
a lot of
hopefully.
experience riding side by side,
2 abreast,
or if you want to ride staggered, they'll split up platoons for trikes or slingshots, the Scorpions. Different types.
So you don't
of
have to have a motorcycle necessarily, a 2-wheel motorcycle. Okay.
I mean, there was plenty of slingshots.
Good to know.
There's chase vehicles on every route, and I had the experience on our route of hitting a 4x4.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah,
not a 4x4 car, but a 4x4 4x4 board.
Yeah, it
makes a big difference, Tim.
Indeed.
Just FYI.
Dented my wheel and
been in the car route before.
Yeah, so. But luckily enough, there was a chase vehicle back behind, and they have road guards. I mean, again, back to the military mission, it's like a good example is the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. You look out on a flight deck, and people wear different color shirts. Well, in the Run for the Wall, you have different colored hats. For different jobs.
Did not know this. See, this is interesting stuff.
In the fuel team, we had neon yellow hats. We would go, to a gas station and set up, know how many pumps we were going to have available. And then when the platoons started arriving, we'd get them in there, organize them, direct them in on traffic, and gas up their bikes. We would do 400 bikes in about 18 minutes.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And boom, they're back out on
How
the
the
road.
hell do you do that?
Practice.
Dang, man.
But
that's crazy.
yeah, and we got good at it as we went along. Some of the stops were paid stops. Some of the stops were donated.
What do you mean by
stops.
paid stops?
Paid stops, the guys had to pay for their fuel as they got up there.
Oh, okay.
So we would stack bikes, 2 per pump on one side, and you'd have one guy running the money, one guy running the hose,
right,
in between the 2 bikes. So our catchphrase to people pulling up was highway pegs up, because you didn't want to get cracked in the shins.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
As they're coming through, because you have guys coming on either side of you on one side of a pump, and then same thing on the other side. So we'd sit there and run all these pumps and direct people around. And so
if it's a paid stop, how's that get paid for? Like, I mean, do you run card every pump still, or somebody just
cash,
the overall
cash
bill?
only,
cash only.
And guys know this up front.
Oh, so every stop is cash only?
Well, any stop is cash as long as it's being paid. So if it's donated, they would pull up, and a lot of people would donate money.
Sorry, that's what I'm asking. So sorry, I messed that up.
Yeah.
If it's a donated stop, so if it's a paid stop, it's cash only.
Right.
Why? They give you the cash?
Yes, they give us
and
the
you
cash,
pay the
and
tenants.
then at the end, finance pays for whatever
Okay, I'm
the fuel
tracking.
bill was.
Okay.
So the way we would run that
Because not everybody's running their own debit card.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, we don't have the time.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
'Cause
you're
I was trying to
running-
figure this 18-minute thing. I was like,
you're
there's
running
no
all
way.
these people through. So and people know this in advance. That's why they go through orientation
yeah.
and everything else. They know and can understand. And there were people that had. I remember a guy from the staging crew that had envelopes, bank envelopes with $17 in every envelope, and he just had them stacked in his vest.
Just hand it, because you know you're going to be somewhere
he'd
between
pull
$13
in
and $17.
He had pull an envelope and hand it to us. And
Nice.
we'd say, hey, this is a donated stop. And he goes, here's my donation.
Oh, no shit. Even though it was
So,
a donated
yep.
stop, he donated. That's just the way
that
it was.
the way it was.
Wow, that's patriotic shit, huh?
Indeed.
So,
like
yeah.
that.
And there were lots of them. There were a lot of paid stops, but it's not, you don't count on it. So I donated at a lot of the stops, even though they were donated stop. I would donate afterwards to the finance people that would pay the bill.
Nice.
A lot of the times, too, any of those donations go to pay for chase vehicles. So
To gas them up.
So, because a lot of the times, somebody would donate, and there were times we didn't know if it was a donated stop or a paid stop until we get there, and we would pull up and gas up our own bikes, paying for it, pull off, stage our bikes and then get ready for all of the main body coming. And all of a sudden, one of the finance guys would come out and go, hey, this is now a donated stop. People saw it and they paid the money up front. So we're covered.
Yeah, that's cool.
For the 400 bikes coming in, they're all covered.
Wow.
You said something just a minute ago about being patriotic. Yep. And that's something I'd just like to touch on real quick. Just these things that like these paid stops and donated stops, and the run itself and the chase vehicles and all of the patriotic Americans along the way. God bless America.
Yep.
America. I don't know of any other nation that I've personally witnessed, and I'm sure there's a lot of patriotic nations out there, but I know America, and that's America.
Well, and that was one of the things that, with all of the politics and all of the stuff you see online and all the Debbie Downers out there, going on that ride really made me see the patriotic side of America again. And see all these people that are out there and that love America and love the military, love law enforcement. And there were tons of law enforcement guys involved in this. And it was just, it is a truly heartwarming mission to be a part of.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
So again, back to your platoons and the organization.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, this is good.
We had to.
I love it.
All right, we had to.
Oh no, it's right. Fabulous. If you want, run it again, and I'll be quiet.
Let's see. Let's see this one. There's different versions.
No, I'm not going to do the intro. Just rip it.
There we go. Straight up, bro. Not going to do the intro. Just straight up, dude. Go ahead. Oh, let's do this. And then I want to roll on that thought. But of course, like we said, we love our patron members.
Oh, yeah.
We love our sponsors, so we definitely want to. And I know...
Well, you got to get them in when you get the chance.
Absolutely.
Once I start talking.
I know Rick Rack, those guys, father-son team down there, absolutely supporting our military. We also carry their products in our store. You're searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords, Tim, that can come loose and slap you a paint. I ask you, make sure you check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. You definitely can't find it anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick attach system. Once you add Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. lawabidingbiker.com/store. Goat right here in the house would love to get your Rick Rack system shipping and headed your way. Ain't that right, Goat? Yeah, nice. That's all he has to say. And he'll put a little one of those in the box, so when you open it up, as soon as you open the box, mine's a lot slower. I can't. Oh, good times. All right. So let's dive back in. So did you have a particular thought, or you want me to pick it back up? Well, because I have a lot of questions, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, any questions? I was just going back to the organization, the platoons, and they organize everything by rider skill.
Grenades and shit.
Oh no, but believe me, there were lots of us that
2 grenades for each
weapons,
person. Yeah,
so.
I know you did. Oh, I guarantee that cross country rides armed Americans.
That actually came up.
Did it?
When we were at Pope Air Force Base, they threatened to arrest anybody that tried to carry a weapon onto the base. So several of us did not go on base.
Yeah, no shit. That's un-American.
Yeah, well, there was some confusion on all of that. So
it's a big event, and there's confusion.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I don't want to
throw
them
and I
under
guess
the bus.
they had some big wigs there. The Secretary of the Air Force was
there,
and there were several of us that said, well, we need to go get to the next fueling stop.
Like,
so,
I can't leave my gun on the side of the freeway here.
Well, they were
I got
saying,
nowhere to put it.
You can put them in this trailer, and it's like, no.
Some random trailer, no.
Yeah.
Not interested.
And we're
Okay.
like, well, we'll skip going on base. Well, no, the route commander wants everybody on base. Well, sorry.
Right.
I'm not going to go without my weapon.
And that's something hard to plan.
Right.
But that's not the event organizers. That's kind of one of those surprise little things that you weren't
monkey wrench
expecting.
was thrown.
Yeah, maybe they'll iron that out for next year, hopefully. You learn.
So,
yeah.
Again,
you carry a gun? That's dangerous, Goat.
No, I never.
Guns are dangerous.
Only if you don't know how to use it. So.
People are dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. Just got to fuck
Remember,
with you.
I was a former Marine.
Yeah,
so.
I know. We're all
He's dangerous.
Leos too. Jeez Louise, yeah.
But again, the organization, the everything is safety.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they believe in safety. They want people to be safe. They have medical people. They have chaplains that are with every group. We had a chaplain in the fuel team.
You need to take Preacher Tim then.
Yeah.
Indeed.
A lot of the chase vehicles were operated by chaplains or people from church units, and they would pay their own fuel, have their own trailer, have tire chocks, everything. It was the chaplains that picked up my bike when I hit the 4x4 outside of Albuquerque. And I rode in a truck with a couple of wonderful people from North Carolina, sat and talked with them, visited, but I couldn't wait to get to a place and get my bike fixed so I could get back into the ride.
Yeah.
But great people. It's a military operation. Everything's thought of. They've done this. Again, that was the 31st year.
It's crazy, yeah.
So you
got guns, you got motorcycles, you're riding across America.
We just didn't have a lot of booze.
Just tell me this. Okay, but tell me this. You got chase cars and stuff. Was there not a chase trailer with strippers? Because what would make it more American than to finish it out with strippers, Goat?
There was lots of chaplains, remember?
Oh, yeah. They were in the trailer with the strippers.
They were the chase trailers.
Just
Some of them were the strippers.
praying. Just praying for them. All right, because I have to lighten this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right, I love it, dude. I love it. So let me bring it to here because we're going good on time, but I have some questions because I've never done it. And I'm always concerned about just because I'm an organized guy and safety. Obviously, you said they take that into account. So you got these platoons. I get it. To me, from what you're telling me, it sounds like they're staggering the groups. And so tell me what that entails. Like, are they 5 minutes staggered? Because and the other thing that I have is like how if you're all right, I get it. There's 3 routes, but I mean, you have a lot of guys, right? Like, how do hotels, are these all prearranged hotels? And how does that get prearranged?
Right. It's again, it's been 31 years. So they'll get host hotels and they have coordinators for every state that they go through for the different routes. So they have people ahead of time that know these are the dates we're going to be in your area. What is the host hotel? What are overflow hotels? All of this information is published well in advance, so people make their reservations all the way across.
You do this yourself
in advance, yeah.
You have to know what days, where you're going to be.
Yep, but it's all spelled out for you on the website.
Okay.
If you go on this route, these are your hotels.
You get discounts on the hotels because it's part of this.
A lot of it is discounted and
you paid for hotels?
No.
Okay.
All of the hotel stuff's your own.
Okay.
I was lucky.
What kind of hotels are we talking about, though? We're talking about Super 8s, or are we talking about Best Westerns, or are we talking about highfalutin?
It bounces around depending on where you're at. And
no roach motels, though?
Unless you pick one of the side hotels somewhere. So,
but not the host motels.
Right. And there's a lot of people that camp. They have campsites and stuff, too, as well, all the way across. So there's a lot of people that camp it. So there were a lot of motorcycles with trailers, trikes with trailers. And when you, it just hit me in my mind here for a second. when you were reading the information at the start, and they said people from 20 to 80 or whatever. One of the guys on our field team
80,
was 86 years old.
Wow.
CRS.
It's a badass.
Is his nickname. Can't remember shit.
Yeah, I love it.
But
nice.
86 years old, and he's done it.
Can't remember shit. Sarah, did you roll up to him multiple stops? I already paid. All right.
He was on the field team. He was.
I already paid. You're good.
Pumping gas every stop. His daughter flew out and met us in Oklahoma City and rode with him from Oklahoma City all the way to Washington, D.C.
Was she hot?
She does it every year. So
not going to say.
She's married. So.
I didn't ask that. I asked her if she's hot.
He's probably still wearing his FNG pin.
Yeah.
CRS.
Yeah, I can't. Nice one, Tim.
Great.
One for Tim. One for Tim. Nicely done. Nicely played, bro. Okay, so good. So we got some of the logistical things, which is always my concern. Mm-hmm. But one of these platoons that you're riding with, how many people are in a platoon generally?
It depends on how many riders sign up and stuff.
Right, but generally speaking, do you guess, are you talking about 100, 200, or 50? I mean,
I would say probably 50 or so. I don't know for sure because I wasn't in a platoon.
Right.
I was up with the fueling team. But
and you stay with these platoons the entire time?
Yes.
Do you have to ride two abreast?
It depends.
Okay.
They have some platoons that are two abreast, some platoons that are staggered.
Okay.
And then other platoons that are made up of other vehicles, trikes or sidewinders or scorpions or any of those things, and they split them into those other platoons.
What happens if you run over a 4x4 board in the road and your bike breaks? What contingencies so you don't get left in the middle of nowhere by yourself do they have?
They have chase vehicles
with trailers
for every route. Yeah, multiple chase vehicles.
Okay.
And
because that happens a lot, I'm sure. I mean, it's going to happen with that many riders.
You have lots of mechanical breakdowns. So
mostly the guys riding BMWs, right? Oh, did I say that? Oh, God. Sorry. Just teasing you BMW riders. I'm just teasing.
We
love it.
When I
threw you off your game there.
Yeah, a little. So when I hit the 4x4, we were just outside of Albuquerque. And again, when we ride, we try to move as a group from lane to lane. When in this, it's a lot of people that haven't ridden together.
I know, which always concerned me about these events.
So they snake
a
lot. So, the lead guys will decide to make a lane change, and there's no communication back other than hand signals. And, they start snaking over. So I was in the left lane, and I was like the fifth bike back on the fuel team, and they start snaking across, and it's as we're going up a hill, there's an exit, and the road is kind of curving around for the exit to go off. And as we're curving around, we're in the left lane, we're moving to the right lane. All of a sudden, boom, there's a 4x4 that came out of what I'm figuring is the underside of a big tractor trailer rig that they use for tarping. So, boom, there it is. I couldn't see it until not the bike in front of me, but the bike in front of that veers across and is throwing a leg and an arm out trying to point as he's trying to avoid it. Right behind him was a female that is riding a great big cruiser with beach bars. And she clips the edge of it, but bounces right over it. And I have nowhere to go. So I just stiffened my arms and boom, hit it. But I hit it at an angle, so it caught the right side of my front wheel first, dented the wheel, cracked the wheel.
I'm so glad you didn't go down, bro.
Well, it was just, got nothing.
Because you could easily go down at an angle on that,
But I broke it. I hit it, hard enough. It broke the 4x4. So
you're like a karate guy. Danielson.
It was like, it was one of those deals where, bam, there it is. You got nowhere to go, stiff arms. So,
right.
So that it didn't jerk the wheel one way or the other. And I go across it. A guy behind me, his name's Ed.
When it snapped, can I ask you this? Did you go, hoo-yah?
I thought about
Everyone's
it.
like, you're a badass, bro.
I thought about it, but I had to pull the seat out of my butthole first. So, Ed rides up next to me, and it's Ed's wife, April, that's up ahead of me. And he looks at me, and then he goes up and looks at April, gives her a thumbs up because he looks at her bike and her tire and stuff. Then he backs up, looks at me, and he goes, thumbs down. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I tap out, move off to the right, and get on the shoulder, and I can feel my tire going down as I'm moving over.
Yeah.
Because it had cracked the wheel.
Yeah, no shit, dude. You hit it hard.
Oh,
I saw those pics.
So I pull off to the side. The road guards, we had 2 road guards assigned to us for our fuel team. One of them pulls off with me, goes, hey, what's going on? Because he didn't even see me hit it. He was further back.
Right.
So I tell him I hit that 4x4, and he's going, oh, I saw it out there. I was wondering what happened. So he's going, are you okay? And I said, I dented the wheel and tire's flat. And he goes, okay, I'll get a hold of the chase vehicle. So he gets on his radio, calls back.
They got radios, like portable radios.
CBs.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay, CBs. Yeah.
So he gets on the CB, calls them, tells them, yeah, we got a vehicle here or a bike here that needs picked up. So I immediately jump on the phone, call Duke Harley-Davidson, who we have experience with from one of our rides.
Yeah, no shit. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, well, I'm not too fucking happy with Duke again. So.
Well, they treated you right on your oil thing, though.
No. That was Worth in Kansas City.
Never mind, you're right. Yeah, never mind.
Duke was with Brad.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. In Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sorry, I was mixing them up, yeah.
And, they did good for the ride people and stuff, but... this is a deal I have against Harley in general is the spare parts that they have out with dealerships anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretty shitty.
Get a hold of Duke and they say, sorry, we don't have a wheel for you.
How do you not have a wheel for a 2017? It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And they said, well, what about a pull-off? And I'm going, okay, what the hell's a pull-off? And they said, well, a lot of the times we'll sell upgraded wheels to people and, they may have a pull-off that they can give you. So it might be a ultra front wheel.
Right.
And I'm going, well, okay, I got ABS and everything. Will it calibrate or can you calibrate and all that? And they said, well, let us check. Nope, we don't have any pull-offs. We had one and it's already gone. Somebody else hit the same board or something. I'm going, oh, great. So is there any other dealerships? So they direct me. There's another dealership in Albuquerque. They check with them. Yep, they don't have a wheel either. So Albuquerque is a big town.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the 2
hot-ass town
Harley dealerships in Albuquerque, they didn't have any wheels.
That's insane.
So
it's like not having a tire.
Yeah.
It's not like a 1969
especially
something,
when you're going to have...
Oh, yeah, right.
800, because I think everybody... Well, I take that back. We, first night, 2 routes, the southern route and the midway route, went to Flagstaff, Arizona. That's where we spend our first night. Second night was we went to Albuquerque, spent the night in Albuquerque. The southern route cut down a little bit more, but they're within like 100 miles of Albuquerque where they stayed. So you would think 2, Harley dealerships in a big town, knowing you've got, like 500 or more bikes coming through.
Right.
I might have a couple of wheels.
Standard parts
for that.
This is something that, for me personally, it comes down to ownership and management of those dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
But 2, it's a Harley deal. If it's a Harley part, a lot of the stuff they can't carry unless Harley says, yeah, we'll send it to you.
Well, I guarantee you that they've got a Harley Davidson sitting on that showroom floor.
With the front wheel.
With the front wheel.
Correct.
That would fit, yeah.
And I would pull that wheel off that bike and I would fix my customer up and send them down the road and I would take care of that wheel. And some
dealerships will, and that's what varies so much, huh?
Indeed. And that's
kind of where they've lost it, some
ownership and customer service.
And here comes my little customer service and good guy pitch for if you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, go see Loman's Harley Davidson.
Okay.
They
Not
are
Dukes.
an aftermarket seller that are there in Albuquerque, and it's owned by a father and son. The father is, I don't think, in the business anymore, but the son is still there, and he hooked me up.
Nice.
He knows, and he realizes they have this issue with Harley Davidson stock wheels, especially on the specials. Mm-hmm. I have a 17 Road Glide Special, so it's got the low profile tire, and he showed me
the shorter wheels, smaller wheels.
He showed me like 5 different wheels there that are bent, and it's a design flaw with them. That, if you're in between those spokes and you hit anything, just a pothole in the road, boom, it can bend that wheel just that easy. So the people at Duke said you might try Lohman's or some other place. So, boom, I pulled up the phone while I was sitting at the side of the road, got a hold of Lohman's and said, hey, this is what happened. I have a 17 Road Glide Special, and I got a bent wheel. I need to get a wheel. And he goes, you got ABS? Yep. Yeah, bring it in. I got a wheel for you.
Wow.
So
how cool is that, huh?
The crew picked me up.
And that dealership doesn't have a wheel. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You
We
know what
go
I mean?
on down, and there's a trike that is off the side of the road, and his shifter came out. So kind of the same thing that you had when we were in Cheyenne. With
right. Oh, the
shifter
shaft linkage, the splines. Yeah. No shit.
So he's going, you guys can take me to Duke. And I'm going to Lohman's, so you guys can drop me at Lohman's. And he goes, well, what's Lohman's? And I said, pull it up on your phone. So he pulls it up and he calls Lohman's and he goes, yeah, take me to Lohman's too.
Nice.
So we go to Lohman's. I mean, I had a new wheel on the bike in 45 minutes.
Wow.
Wham, bam.
That's quick.
And they fixed him up, found that he had a short because he pulled a trailer and stuff. There was something that was throwing off his, it kept throwing error codes into his bike. So they started researching a bunch of that, and they were sitting there. They were supposed to close at 5. We were there until a little bit after 6 while they were working on.
Nice. Like
his.
the dealership in Canada.
Yeah.
That fed us beers and stayed open late.
Concours.
Yeah. That was badass.
Yep.
So I would suggest to everybody that's listening to find Lohman's phone number and address and put it into your cell phone
No
just
shit.
in
If
case
you're in Albuquerque,
anywhere
if you're
near
Running through New
Albuquerque.
Mexico. Yeah.
So-
no shit.
They treated me well. They had a little error that came up later on, but it was no big deal, and I took care of it.
Good.
But it was all because of the floating brake discs. You know how they have those wavy washers
Right.
around
yeah.
them?
Oh, correct. Like, yeah, they're not flat.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, a couple of those were bad when they transferred over.
Okay.
So when I got to, I think, Asheville, North Carolina, I had noticed my rotors were kind of wiggling. Mm-hmm. And I went into Asheville, and they opened them up. It wasn't Asheville. It was a place before that. Can't remember the name exactly, but they $4 and a penny for some washers.
Wow.
Whoop, they pulled them off, put the washers on, put it back on.
And had them in stock.
Charged me for parts.
All right. And you trailered your bike from the crash vehicles to
Just to Albuquerque.
right.
Just
that's what
to
I'm saying.
Lohman's.
And they did that for you.
Yeah, they did the wheel, and
But what I'm saying is your bike trailered
yeah,
to the dealership, or
Yep.
not the dealership, but the aftermarket store,
Yep.
motorcycle store. Okay. That's what it is.
they picked me up, took me there, dropped me off, and
Nice.
the Lohman said, "Yep, we can fix you up, no problem."
So don't worry if you're on this ride, you're not going to get left in the middle of nowhere. You're not on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's people with you.
It's a team
There's-
sport.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Let's do this, and then we'll. I got some more questions, and we'll wind it down. But we love our patron members. We would love you to become a patron member. We would love to get to know you better in the private Facebook group, communicate with you, all that kind of stuff. But we never, if the only way you can support us is a flat donation, we another buck. Add a flat donation, Tim. All right, we're going to thank the following people. Krzysztof Francak of Józefów, Poland. How about that? John Gilbert of Mariposa, California. Richard McDermott of Oxnard, California. You want to do these, Tim? thank these people.
Okay, Martin Blasco of
Kipfenberg, Germany.
There you go. Substantial donation from him. Rick McDermott of Oxnard, California, and Carl Raymond
of Oxnard. Oh, we don't know of where. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how you go and leave a flat donation. It helps put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep this thing heading on down the road. All right, so
give a bear to Goat so he can keep talking. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been a great episode. I've learned a lot. So why don't you let's, as we wind it down here. So we've talked kind of about logistics and some of what it's about. How many miles a day are you rolling here, bro?
It really depends on what you have scheduled for those days. Because
what do you mean? What you have scheduled?
They have a lot of stops scheduled for the days. You may stop at a school.
Do you have to?
Well, that's part of the.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. So you're expected if they have a stop that day. They don't want you riding on without your group. They want you stopping.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. These are questions people will have. Yeah.
And so, but these are really enriching things too.
Oh, I would love to.
So there were a few stops at schools where we'd stop and we'd go attend an assembly and have lunch there. And you would sit there with the students and they would give, an assembly and sing songs or present things. And a lot of the staff of the Run for the Wall would give presentations in return. They would get presentations from, like, say, veterans of foreign wars or combat vets of America or VFWs, just different things where they would make donations to the Run for the Wall, but also the Run for the Wall would turn around and give thanks, give either certificates or monetary donations to schools or other things.
Okay.
So there's a lot of give and take on the entire thing. That's why
you stop every day though.
Not every day.
Okay, so give me this. I want to get into more about some of the stuff they do, but give me this because the Sworn Fee Motorcycle Club. We ride on our trips. We can go anywhere from 300 to 600 miles a day.
Right.
What's a no stop day long for them? Because you want to give people an idea of like, what are you getting into here?
I think the longest,
is this hardcore like us or is this shorter days?
I think the longest day we had was 430 miles.
Okay.
And I think the shortest was like 90.
Okay, see there. Thank you. That gives me a range, and I think that's what people are interested in.
And that's why
so doable for people.
Oh yeah, it takes 10 days to get across the country. So
for that reason, yeah.
You might have 3 fuel stops in a day or 4 fuel stops in a day, and they base the fuel stops again on smallest tanks. So,
okay, right. So you may be stopping more than you want.
Right. So they have pre-programmed ones. It's typically 100 miles or so between a fuel stop.
Okay.
So depending on what your day is, if it's a 430-mile day, you'd have, you're expected
100,
to be gassed
100, 4 stops. Yeah.
Yeah, you're expected to be gassed up, before you go. So, and they flat out say, and they give you an itinerary. And it's got, this date, you're expected to be at this meeting at 6:30 or whatever the case is. That's another thing. It is a military mission, so be prepared to get up early in the morning.
Okay, they want your kickstands up and going.
Yeah, typically it was either 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning you're on the road.
What happens, Goat, if your platoon, you got the guy that didn't get there on time? Do you leave without him or do you wait an hour? Or do you know? I mean, you may have not experienced that. I'm just asking. Like they can't wait all day for somebody.
Yeah, we didn't experience that with the fuel team.
Okay.
But we had a couple of people who said, hey, I'm riding ahead to meet up with such and such, and I will join you guys tomorrow morning.
So communication is big.
And so that's where your platoon leader and your assistant platoon leader and stuff is important. One of the things is when you register, you fill out a next of kin.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has to provide your vehicle information, your insurance information, and you're expected. There are several states that don't have helmet laws, everybody wears a helmet.
Okay. That's part of the, when
that's
you're
part of the
running
deal.
that. Yeah.
And it's all because of insurance.
Absolutely.
And they have their own insurance for things. That's what drives a lot of stuff. So if you're moving your bike in a parking lot from one spot to another, you better have your helmet on or somebody's going to let you know.
Okay. Wow.
So
squared away.
And it's, again, like it's ran like a military operation. So nobody's going to be a butthead to you about it, but they're going to say,
do they put you down in the push-up position if you ride across the parking lot without your helmet?
We had a
give me 50, soldier. Get off that bike.
We had a few drill instructors in the fuel platoon, so
I just do my push-ups. I would. Yes, sir.
Do you know?
Sir, yes, sir. May I have another?
Do you know what a Maverick is?
Sir, may I have another?
Do you know what a Maverick in the military is?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, we had a guy.
I know Maverick from Top Gun. Tom Cruise.
We had a guy.
Sorry. No, right.
We had a guy on our fuel team who joined the military, joined the Marine Corps in the 70s as an enlisted man. And he went all the way up to the rank of gunnery sergeant. He was on the drill field as a drill instructor. And he got a commission as a warrant officer, which is kind of in between enlisted and a regular commissioned officer. It's for a specialty within a military occupational specialty. You can become what they call a warrant officer. He went up to, I think, a chief warrant officer in that, and then he got a full commission in the military and went all the way up to the rank of Major 04. So he went from E1 all the way up to Officer 4.
Wow.
And retired out of the Marine Corps that way. This guy started the Run for the Wall from Virginia and had an incident in Little Rock, Arkansas when he was heading out to Ontario, California to meet us. He was riding his motorcycle, which was a 115th anniversary edition Street Glide CVO. Number 2 of 1,200. And he dumped the bike.
Oh.
And it ended up totaling the bike out. So, a lot of people would say, okay, I'm going to give up. And he literally said he was sitting there on the ground crying when the ass end slid out and in the rain. But the bike slid down and caught and flipped over. And that's what totaled it. It caused enough damage.
Right, yeah. That'll do it.
Oh, yeah. It high-sided.
It's a massive amount of 4, high-sided.
But he calls up his wife, and his wife goes, so what are you going to do? And he's like, well, my bike's wrecked. And she goes, so get a plane ticket, fly out there, rent a bike, and ride back home.
Yeah, nice.
And he friggin' did it.
It's a good wife.
He went from Little Rock, Arkansas, got on a plane, flew out to L.A., rented a bike at Eagle Rider.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rode down to Ontario, met us for the Run for the Wall, and rode all the way back across to Virginia and to Washington, D.C., and finished the Run for the Wall.
That's
nice.
a Marine.
Oh, yeah.
Complete the mission.
Hooah!
Hoorah is
Hoorah.
Marines. Hooah is Army.
Okay. That's what we always, so we'll say it again.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah!
Yep.
And what is hooah?
That's Army.
So hooah.
Hooah.
Hoorah.
It's like the Rangers.
Hoorah!
Hoorah. There you go.
Is that kind of like, hiya? Like earlier? Is that what you said when you hit the board?
Close.
Hoorah!
Hoorah. Yeah.
I was at
Thanks for the
MCRD.
education. I appreciate it.
I was at MCRD San Diego when he graduated.
Oh, yeah.
In a room full, an auditorium full of Marines.
A lot of testosterone in there.
At one
I'm not gonna lie to you.
At one moment during the presentation, they all said it.
Said what?
It wasn't said. It was yelled.
Yes, it was yelled. And all of us civilians in there about crapped our pants.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive, huh?
Very much so.
Nice. All right. So awesome information, Goat. Awesome information. As we wind it down here, I think this is what a lot of people want to know, and it's what I want to know. I have a better idea of kind of what it's about. And, as humans, when you haven't done something like this, I mean, I scoured their website to get prepared for this episode. And obviously, I still have a shitload of questions,
Oh, yeah.
which and that hopefully this episode takes a little bit of the anxiety out of it for people and make it realize that this is, an event that's been going on for a very long time. It's very organized. Goat gave you insight into kind of how it will go and to cast. Because when I look at something like this, that would be, cast your fears aside and know that it's a safe, well-organized event and something you can take a lot of pride in. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the big things is the journey there is a great journey. And it's a mission to get there. But once you do get there, the experiences that you'll have there
in DC.
Yeah. And it was my first time in DC. So going the all FNGs get to go to Arlington National Cemetery.
Nice.
And the Run for the Wall is the only group that is allowed to ride in by motorcycle, and they have to all exit together by motorcycle.
Okay.
From Arlington National Cemetery. So we rode in.
Powerful.
And we were there.
Sorry, Goat needs some scraps. He needs a drink of Irish Death. That'll do it for sure. After he's done with that, Tim, if you haven't seen Goat, he eats the can.
Yeah.
That's what goats do. They just eat the can.
Indeed.
He eats it live right here on the video.
Sorry.
That's right.
When you ride in there, it's we ride in as a group and you exit as a group, but you get to go up to the tomb of the unknown soldier and witness the changing of the guard.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
We also make a wreath presentation from the Run for the Wall at the Tomb of the Unknown. So, for people who have never been there, it is a hugely moving and powerful event. So,
absolutely,
it's well worth it. And the first time you walk onto the grounds of Arlington, if you've never been there, it's just amazing to look out. It's amazing to see the different levels because you would think it's one, great big cemetery. Oh no, it's rolling hills.
Right.
And it's got woods and it's got, all
puts it in
kinds
perspective.
of stuff. Oh yeah.
Like
the USS Maine. It was a Navy ship that went down, and it's got the history of that. And you have the graves of several hugely important people and, great warriors that were, so important in the history of the United States. Audie Murphy. A lot of people think of him, oh yeah, I heard that name. He was a guy who did Westerns and stuff. He was like the most decorated soldier in the history of the United States.
Wow.
And he's buried there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's presidents buried there.
Hallowed ground.
Yeah. And you can't, and that is part of the whole thing is it is a sacred place. It's a place of honor, and you will treat it as such when you go in and when you exit.
Nice.
And the Run for the Wall does that. That's why they are the only group that's allowed in like that.
Wow.
And they'll shut down highways in Washington, D.C. for us all to ride to get around there and get in.
Your platoon, or is this everybody now at this point?
There was over 400 of us that went in.
Okay. All right. At one time.
Yeah, at one time for Arlington.
Yeah.
And that was Saturday morning. We arrived on Friday into Washington, D.C., being that I was with the former Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. We got to attend, and anybody can ask for tickets on the site, but we got to attend the Friday evening parade at Marine Barracks 8th and I, which is the downtown barracks in Washington, D.C. We got to witness the silent drill team and the whole parade that they have. They have a Friday evening parade, and they'll have a Tuesday parade at the Marine Corps Memorial, which is a different site in Washington, D.C. It's where the Iwo Jima Memorial is, the statue of the Marines placing the flag on top of Mount Suribachi.
Yep.
And they have a parade field there where they'll have another ceremony during the summer. Well, when we went, we had front row seats from the Sergeant Major of Marine Barracks 8th and I. So
nice, man.
Perfect seats. And it's just the history behind that place.
Right,
is outstanding. The Commandant of the Marine Corps, his official quarters are at the end of the parade field, just right there.
Wow.
You can look and see the house.
Wow.
If anybody's interested in going on this ride, one of the things I got from what Brian just said a minute ago, the integrity of this organization.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that are allowed to do this.
Right.
So
good
if you're
point.
going to do this is the group to do it with.
Yep. They're allowed and all that. Yeah. Well said. Awesome information, man.
The
makes me want to do it. I can't do it till I can get more time off.
And
but when I
that's
retire, it's a bucket list item of mine.
It's one of those things that, I could never do it while I was working, but after I was retired.
Yep, when you can get the time.
The time came up and it was like, man, I can't miss this. I can't pass up this opportunity. So.
When this is done, so you're done with DC and all that, you're on your own to get back home. It's end, right? So that everybody kind of splits off from there. Is that fair to say? And you have a partner or whatever, you're on your own then.
Yep.
No chase cars, nothing. You're on your own. So be aware of that. If you end up on the East Coast and you live over here on the West Coast, your shit's on your own on the way back.
Another thing,
which we do all the time, but
that I didn't mention earlier on and stuff is you don't have to do the entire run either. You can register and join at any of those stops and locations along the way on the route that you're.
So you could just join in.
Yep.
You don't have to go to Ontario. You could be in the Midwest and just
Kansas
pick up.
City.
Okay,
or,
good to know.
Depending on what, just look at the routes. The website has a ton of information. You can find out where, and you can register any day to join.
Do you get orientations if you join mid-route, or do you know?
Will get your platoon briefings and everything.
Okay.
So once you sign up, and they have registration every day at each one of those.
This is massive, man.
Day stops.
So you know that they can organize all this.
The logistics of this thing is huge.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
Well, okay, we had over 1,600 riders going across the country for 2019. There's already over 1,600 riders signed up for 2020.
Yeah, and it's only July at the time of this recording. Yeah. It's amazing because, I think of the only thing I can relate it to is, I organize the patron events for Law Abiding Biker Media, and you're talking about 30, 40 patrons plus the 10 lab crew, and that is unbelievable logistics to get that. I can't even fathom something this large, like what that takes. So that's the only thing I can.
It's got to be a nonstop thing.
Oh my God. That's why they start it now, like us. Yeah, even patron events, we start in December and we don't go till June because it takes 6-7 months to even, and they're doing a year,
I think, it was 2 days before I ever even got home. The new route coordinator for the Midway route had already sent me, and he sent out to everybody that was on Midway, a email message about congratulations, thanks for completing it. We're already planning for next time. I'll be your new route coordinator. Here's what we're going to do.
Wow.
So they were already in the planning process for 2020. And like I said, they've already got 2020 up on the site.
So if it's something you're interested in, get frickin' signed up.
It's worth it. You'll never forget it.
When you're ready to roll, Ryan, we can split hotel rooms 3 ways.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm coming along.
I like that. I will do it eventually.
I would do it every year if I could.
Right. Yep. But at least you've done it, and I plan on doing it. It's on the bucket list. And if you're out there, hopefully that gave you some insight into what it's all about. And like I say, take some of the fears and or anxieties out of it. What a wonderful event. We heavily support our military, those who are serving, have served here at Law Abiding Biker Media. So I can't think of a better event to get involved with. And all seriousness aside, I think you should work on adding the trailer with strippers. But other than that, okay, I'm teasing. We don't need any strippers to be American. For God's sakes, Tim. Tim held up a sign and said, "Ask about the strippers." And so I had to say it. But we're teasing. That's America right there. And thanks for sharing with us, Brian, and doing this. So yeah. So here you go. Don't get stranded, bikeaholics. Get hooked up with our Cruise Tools RTH3 roll-up travel toolkit for Harley-Davidson and American-made V-twin motorcycles. Don't forget, we also have our metric Cruise tool kits over there now. Why get stranded and have your bike towed over some small repair? We actually used this kit twice on our recent 7-day law-abiding biker trip to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. Yes, minor repairs, and we were able to get back on the road. This quality-made toolkit has everything you need for a roadside emergency repair. Tested, like I said, and used right here by the law-abiding biker crew. Yep, it is our stamp of approval. That's why we brought it right to our store. Get it already. That's the Cruise Tools RTH3 kit. Nothing but 5-star reviews over there. Also, we added, which you should also roll up in the toolkit, which is our Cruise Tools multi-tool. Little multi-tool with a whole bunch of cool items on it. We use that and the Cruise tool kit. Oscar did when he was fixing his bike. It was just one of the little repairs we made on that trip. So there you go. It may not, if you hit a 4x4 and go, it may not fix it. You may have to find a wheel at a local motorcycle shop. But nonetheless, all those other small repairs, certainly. And we recently, we probably have it in stock now. We brought the tire repair kit, right?
Yes.
Do we have it in stock down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the stop and go and the one with the compressor.
We did 2 kits?
Yes.
See, I don't even know this. These guys run the store for Law Abiding Biker. Okay, so we've got 2 kits. Let's look right here while we're doing this, there, Goat, and see if Ricky Lee, who helps me with the store website, has that up. So let's go to Tools. We're going to more Tools. So, yeah,
Bama.
Look at that shit. I didn't even know that, dude.
That's
so we've got
stop and go, and
the pocket tire plugger plus CO2 inflation, and we've got the stop and go tubeless puncture pilot for motorcycles and ATVs. What's the difference, bro?
That one has a compressor you can plug into your 12 volt or hook to your battery.
So it's more reusable.
Right. It doesn't have the CO2. The CO2 is the stop and go.
So this one's $65.95. That's got the compressor that you plug into your 12 volt. And this other one is $50.95. And it's more of a one-time use because it's got the 3 CO2 cartridges, 4 of them.
You can replenish the CO2 cartridges.
But you can just buy the CO2 cartridges later. So they're both do the same thing. And we're going to do a video on it soon. We're going to actually get a tire and throw a nail in it. And we're going to pull the nail.
We're going to throw it in Ryan's tire.
Right. No, I told you, dude. I can't believe nobody got a flat tire on a recent trip because I wanted to film it so bad. I almost got up in the middle of the night, Tim, and hammered a nail into Goat's tire.
Right on.
But I knew in the morning all I would hear was and it would wake me up at like 5 in the morning because I'd be out there
chewing on a 4x4.
Well done, boys. Well done. We're out of here.